Kindness is the best sales pitch. In the 90s, health drinks were fighting it out so that you and I could grow up stronger and sharper. Toothpaste brands were boxing each other and the germs so that our teeth could be strong, bright and shiny. In 2021, tech giants are planning to drag one another to court so that our data is safe. They're preparing to spend money on lawsuits. They're ready to bear the expense of top lawyers. Why? So that our privacy can be protected. I just have one question. Do these companies work for philanthropy or profit? You know the answer. You see, the data debate is heating up. Privacy has become the new sales pitch, and tech giants want to go all out to monetize our insecurity. So ask yourself this question. What does Apple get by campaigning for your data? And I'll give you the answer. Apps get money from targeted ads. If Apple makes data tracking difficult, then the apps will have to look for other ways to generate revenue, like asking you to pay. So free apps might start asking you to pay to install them. Make their service chargeable. This will help Apple. How will this help Apple? Because Apple gets 30% cuts from in-app sales, meaning if you're buying a feature inside an app on an Apple device, Apple will get 30% of the money that you pay. It makes sense for Apple to not have free apps. So let's talk specifically about Apple versus Facebook. Facebook is facing flack over privacy. And it should. But here's something else that you should know. Every time Facebook is questioned, Apple stands to gain. Let me tell you how. WhatsApp is owned by Facebook, you know that? And iMessage is owned by Apple. Now, WhatsApp and iMessage are direct competitors. So those who uninstall or leave WhatsApp could join iMessage. They could also choose Telegram or Signal, but iMessage is a potential competitor. Do you understand the tech war now? Apple is worth nearly $2.3 trillion. Facebook is over $754 billion. Both want to grow further, become bigger companies, and both are competing on the same turf. Both have the same target group, you and I. Apple CEO Tim Cook recently said, and I'm quoting, "Too many are still asking the question, how much can we get away with?" A couple of days ago, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg said, quote unquote, "We have a lot of competitors who make claims about privacy that are often misleading." Zuckerberg used the opening remarks of Facebook's quarterly earnings to hit out at Apple and to add that Facebook is increasingly viewing Apple as one of its biggest competitors. This is a competition worth billions of dollars. You and I are stretched and sandwiched in between. There is nothing that we can do about this till the law of the land interferes. But guess what? There is no law. And this is true for everyone watching us tonight, from India to the United States. You don't have a law to deal with this. India does not have any law that defines how our data should be handled. There is no regulation on personal data collection in this country. There is no limitation on the extent to which our data can be tracked or sold for profit. A personal data protection bill was tabled in 2019. It is still under discussion. We are in 2021. Can India still do anything to ensure that the data of its citizens is protected until this law is enacted? What about the United States? It's not too different there. There is no well-defined federal law on privacy in America. Tech giants are abusing this gap. They have taken it upon themselves to play judge and jury. Apple is trying to wage a moral war on Facebook, but it's also drawing a smokescreen about its own ulterior motives. Even if Facebook drags Apple to court and the two fight it out, the verdict will be given by one American judge sitting thousands of miles away from India. And guess what? The verdict will impact around 270 million Indian Facebook users and roughly 12 million Apple users. How is this fair? Why shouldn't India have a say in this fight? Let me tell you why it should. First, India is the second largest online market. Second, India is Facebook's biggest market, 270 million users, like I mentioned earlier. The US, in comparison, has 240 million Facebook users. Third, privacy is a fundamental right in India. Lawmakers need to ensure that this right is safeguarded in this country. According to one report, India will have 966 million mobile phone users by 2023. Imagine the kind of personal data that would be available in the public domain. It needs to be protected. And reason number 4, India cannot build a data-driven economy without protecting user data. So I've said this before, I will say it again, there can be no digital India without a safe digital space. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.